I'm not kidding.
Oh my god, I had no idea that was on there.
Yeah, that's quite a
That's
few.
okay.
Air Warrior was a fun
That's
game.
good. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
but it's interesting because I mean, you look at GameStorm, they were way ahead of their time. You know, obviously it's difficult
Yeah.
to host so many different platforms, different types of games that literally are still going on today, and they're way huge, way more huge than the GameStorm ever was. But to do it on dial-up back then is it's crazy.
I
$20 in
remember.
royalties. I dig it. We'll split the royalties with you.
Yeah, there you go. But I do remember that Godzilla Online game, but I can't remember if it was on AOL or GameStorm. That was a little fun game too.
That's true. We had quite a few. So anyway, just for food for thought, guys. If you have any ideas or just thoughts on Darkness Falls or Darkness Falls: The Crusade, you know, just for conversation. Um, you know, we're interested to see what you guys think about certain mechanics or classes. If you have any detailed ideas, please feel free to send them in. I know I enjoy looking over different opinions and different kind of ideas for certain things that we all played with a lot. So yeah, just things like monks and counter. You know, we kind of touched on that yesterday. You know, wolves and shapeshift, and just just kind of, I guess, specific things like that. If anybody has an interesting idea or an opinion on something that was too strong or not strong enough or anything at all, feel free to chime in.
That hubris is going to get you, Mom.
Oh, and yes, I did receive your email today, Igu. Thank you again for sharing that. Making a nice little list collection of ideas here, just for things to go over once we get in there. And hello, belated hello to Nisu underscore. What's up, buddy? Well, currently we don't have that much information, Scott, but keep me updated and remind me, and then when the time comes, we'll see if we can use a little outside assistance.
Yeah, because to be honest, we're probably going to need the help. It'll make things go a lot smoother and quicker.
Yeah, yeah, well, definitely. Mike's gonna be pretty detailed in his first a few approaches, and this is still, you know, we're a bit ahead of ourselves. There's still some other things to implement before we get there. Um, Mamo says, are we thinking of releasing just the lower levels? You know, we haven't decided completely on that just yet. We're considering the benefits to releasing things, I guess, in a more complete manner, in stages. So, we're still kind of considering exactly how we want to go forward after we're ready to implement or release content.
Yeah, Mom. Basically, what we're doing is we're working on all the low-level areas first. And once we're happy getting all those interconnected, we'll start just spreading out from there and go to the medium areas and then the higher levels. But that's our priority because we're hoping still to get around a 3-month away release or so for alpha, just for testing purposes and stuff. So that's why it's more important to focus on those.
It'll be a little bit more than 3 months, but we'll basically starting out from the beginning. We'll obviously focus on the beginning probably a little more. So. Later on down the line, we'll figure out exactly how much gets released at what time. And we know that there's going to be people that will devote quite a lot of time, if not ourselves included, to just to play the game, in its entirety for as many hours as we possibly can in each day. So we don't want to. I personally don't want it to be too limited, where you can only go so far and you can only level up so much, but it may be kind of limited to what we actually can produce in an amount of time. So there's that. So, and then another thing is that there's like 3, I think, big layers to the old game itself, where there were many updates kind of done in certain points of time. So we have the original game that was developed all the way to about level 50, maybe 55, and that was the end game. So it may be smart to just kind of start there and kind of recreate that feeling, and then we're still finding new logs about areas that were higher level than that. So, we're seeing the entire game as a whole rather than as it was implemented back then. So, it's interesting to see it all and to try to break it apart into groups.
What he said, but pretend I said it.
Awesome, Toclan. That's good to know. We'll when we're ripe and ready for testing, we'll probably make it. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but I'm sure at some point there will be a testing phase for anybody that wants to come in.
Asarian, absolutely. I mean, assuming that it all goes well and a stable enough population, which again I don't doubt for a second is going to be the case, and yeah, future areas will definitely be put in the game. Not just ones that are already existing, but ones that we and maybe other players create. Oh, and Toclan, I contacted you a while back. I think it was on Reddit, and I'd read on Sierra forums that your mother may have had a lot of Darkness Falls related material. Do you still have that, or does she still have that?
It's not a tumor.
It is a tumor. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Toclan, or Toclan, or however you want to say it.
It's TOHCLN.
Okay, that's it.
Get it right, gosh. Scott says, how long will it take to get to 40 to 50? That's a really good question. It's kind of based around a lot of different things. I can't give you a straight answer on that because I don't particularly know exactly how long it would take.
It takes as long as it takes. There you go.
You are now wiser than you were before.
But only slight. Very little, very little.
Okay, so as far as new content goes and beginning content, so this here, the Circles of the Fallen, is going to be the newbie area for Evil. That's what I've been working on, and then there's obviously starting zones for the other two. So they'll do a little walkthrough here to kind of quickly kind of show off the area if you guys can keep up or keep track of the words as they fly by. So there's definitely new content kind of already being made, and we definitely want to include probably some smaller additions in the original content because we were able to recover so much. So we probably won't see a lot of extra things until probably a little bit higher level. But just to give you guys a little glimpse, if you will. Right. Yeah. You guys are right. Scott's kind of correct on that. We're not rushing to create a whole third section of DFC or new content for Darkness Rises just yet. But it really will, for me. The planning will include kind of decisions based around how much further do you guys ultimately feel is appropriate, because if you want to level up to 100, then that's going to be kind of a major change, and that's not something that I'm particularly keen on because there's all sorts of other things to do first. But little things like that are things to keep in mind.
I just want to give a loud shout out to Nix and say thank you so much for helping with all that you've done. You found probably the most areas out of anybody else other than like me, and you did it way quicker than I did. Way quicker. So thanks again, Nix.
Yeah. 100 it seems way out in the stars, when you think about leveling to 75. Back then only a handful of people did it, so. Right. Yeah. No. I think the capability for things like that were pretty much programming these kind of things as we want to.